Hello, nice of you to join us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwe. Today we will be focusing on the southeastern region. But before we take a look at that, let's have a look at our top stories making rounds at the moment. The All Progressives Congress APC executives in Ekeremo and Southern Ijaw local government areas of Abia State have announced the suspension of several key party members. This includes the Minister of State for Petroleum, Senator Heineken Lukmobiri, and David Leon, who was the APC's 2019 governorship candidate in the state. 2 serving commissioners from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, who are also members of the APC, were among those suspended. The suspensions were reportedly the result of anti-party activities and alleged division within the party at the state level. The executive stated that the actions of these members were detrimental to the party's unity and progress. This decision aims to address the internal issues and restore order within the APC. Party leaders have emphasized the importance of maintaining party loyalty and discouraging any activities that could harm the party's reputation. They believe that these suspensions are necessary to reinforce discipline among members and to foster stronger, more cohesive party structure. The APC executives in Abia State are hopeful that this action will help bring about unity and focus as they prepare for the future elections. They urge all party members to work together for the common goal of strengthening the APC and serving the interests of the people in the state. Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained the National Executive Committee and Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, from removing Ambassador Umar Damagum as the acting national chairman of the party. The court ordered that no other person must be recognized as PDP national chairman other than Damagum until the national convention of the party scheduled for December next year. Justice Lifu issued the restraining order against PDP NEC, BOT and others while delivering judgment in a suit instituted against them by Senator Umar El Gash Meina. The judge held that in line with Articles 42, 47 and 67 of PDP, it is only at the national convention of the party that national officers can be elected. In the suit, Justice Lifu said that PDP members are bound by the constitution of the party and as such must always act in line with the provisions and obedience to the party's law. The plaintiff, who claimed to be chairman of the PDP in Yobe State, had instituted a suit against PDP and 8 others, alleging that some stakeholders of the party have been holding clandestine meetings to forcefully remove Damagum from office in gross violation of the party's constitution. The National Working Committee, NWC, of the People's Democratic Party has suspended the party's National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Debo Ologun Agba, and the National Legal Advisor, Mr. Kamaldeen Ajibade, following allegations against them. A statement signed by the PDP National Director of Publicity, Mrs. Chinwe Norum, also notes that the PDP National Working Committee has directed that the suspended officers face a disciplinary committee headed by the PDP's Deputy National Chairman South, Mr. Taufik Arakbaji, for investigations. Following the suspension, the respective deputies of the 2 officers are also directed to assume office in acting capacity immediately. The statement, however, did not state the alleged offense committed by the suspended officers. We start off in Imo State, where the Federal Ministry of Justice says it is committed to leading the process of galvanizing the justice sector of the country to continue to play a vital role in national development and respect human rights. The Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Justice, Mrs. Beatrice Jedi Agba, revealed this at the National Sensitization Workshop for Critical Stakeholders in the Administration of Criminal Justice in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Our correspondent, Eita Kwekute, reports.
It is the National Sensitization Workshop for Critical Stakeholders in the Administration of Criminal Justice in Imo State, Southeast Nigeria. Those in attendance include officers and men of the Nigerian Police Force, officials of the Imo State Judiciary, amongst other stakeholders. The workshop, which is feeding off the Imo State Administration of Criminal Justice Bill 2020, is aimed at reawakening the consciousness of the justice sector and institutions involved in the administration of criminal justice to ensure that there are no unnecessary delays and encourage respect for human rights.
There is no doubt that there are novel provisions in the AJA and in the Imo State Administration of Criminal Justice Law that requires strict implementation by major players and critical justice institutions in the state.
The message from the Solicitor General of the Federation is that of optimism that the implementation of these laws, already enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended, will address the human rights abuse and maltreatment of suspects at police stations and detention facilities of other security agencies.
Section 33 of the Act requires an officer in charge of a police station or an officer in charge of an agency authorized to make arrests to, on the last working day of every month, report to the magistrate the cases of all suspects arrested without warrant within the limits of their respective stations or agency, whether the suspect have been admitted to bail or not.
Participants pledge to collaborate with appropriate authorities in the state to ensure the effective implementation of the law.
I want to make bold to tell all the participants that the force has not been resting on its course. If you look at the caliber of police officers here, most of them are area commanders and divisional police officers. They are conversant with the Act. They've attended a series of training sections. Even the command under the leadership of my amiable Commissioner of Police at Apoki Danjuma has been able to organize lectures on this.
Amongst other benefits, the Imo State Administration of Criminal Justice Law 2020 is expected to promote transparency and accountability in criminal justice administration in the state, facilitate the decongestion of police detention facilities, enhance better image and perception of the police, and ensure the suspects are not illegally detained in police cells. Ejitokokute, Channels Television News.
The Ebonyi State government has taken steps to support security agencies by providing essential equipment and developing infrastructure. This initiative aims to improve security across the state and ensure the safety of residents. The government believes that better equipped security agencies will be more effective in tackling crime and maintaining peace. Governor Francis Winfuru stated that the state is committed to ensuring that security operatives have the necessary tools and facilities to carry out their duties efficiently. He also mentioned that improving the working conditions of security personnel is key to strengthening security efforts in both urban and rural areas. Security agencies in Ebonyi have expressed their appreciation for the state's government support, noting that the new equipment and infrastructure will help them respond more swiftly to security challenges. The provision of vehicles, communication gadgets, and upgraded stations is expected to enhance their operations. The state government has assured that it will continue to invest in security infrastructure as part of its efforts to maintain peace and protect lives and property in Ebonyi State. This support is seen as vital to fostering a secure environment for development and economic growth. Joining us live now on Newsroom series is the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Ebonyi State, Mr. Jude Okpo from Abakaliki. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So now, can you provide an update on the current infrastructure projects being undertaken by the state government and how they are impacting the lives of residents?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yes, it has been a roller coaster experience for Ebonyi the past 17 months in terms of infrastructure development in Ebonyi State. For instance, let us start from health. Before we came on board, there was a disconnect between the tertiary health, sector and the primary health sector. In terms of manpower, in terms of medical equipment. And that received the definite attention immediately, and he first of all approved the recruitment of medical personnel or posted to the general hospitals we have in our different local. And that's, not enough. A lot of funds was also released for the procurement of medical equipment, like MRI machines and the rest of them. But to speak right now, most of these equipment have been deployed in the general hospital, and that has reduced the pressure, from the tertiary healthcare system, like the ones we have in the state capital. Now, people, that were supposed to be moved from the villages to the state capital now receive medical attention very close to them. And to also make sure that these doctors, resident doctors are not, given the opportunity of indulging in truancy. The government provided, a lot of incentives like, FUB, resident accommodation, and improved, monthly allowance to the tune of over 250,000 to ensure that these medical doctors reside in the general hospital and attend to the health needs of the Ebonians in the local area.
Okay.
According to education, other area that definitely the government are also giving a lot of attention in terms of infrastructure. As we speak right now, outside the improvement that was noticed in existing, infrastructure in the state, like the primary and secondary, we are currently, undergoing the construction of 39 model secondary schools, simultaneously across the 13 local governments in the state. In university level, outside the improvement that was noticed in terms of infrastructure, in the existing university, the government is not undertaking the construction of, an ICT university in Greater Abia and aerospace university in Nigeria. Now, the works and transport, like what you're seeing on the screen, is one of the flyovers that, the government is also introducing in part of its efforts to enthrone a smart city in the state. That place you're seeing is one place that we used to have a very traffic congestion that it makes life very difficult for the Ebonians in the state capital. And these introductions are also geared towards freeing up and also, creating an enabling environment for residents of the state capital. And in terms of housing, what you also have in terms of housing, the ongoing 140 units of 3-bedroom flats, for the residents of Izo and Imo, Izo and Anambra in the community, is what you have on the screen. You can see gradually that project is almost 90% completed. Very soon we're expecting that, Mr. President will pay the boy to completion alongside other infrastructure.
We look forward to that. Now, I can see that you've pressed on health, security, education, housing. Now, how is the state government addressing concerns about the security situation in the state? And what specific measures have been implemented to support security agencies?
Honestly, I'll have to beat my chest and tell you that the Ebonians and Ebonyi State in particular have enjoyed a very secure environment. It is not in contention that we are one of the most secure states in the whole of Southeast. Even when the security, the problem in the Southeast was at least the highest level, Ebonians have always gone about their normal businesses unhindered and unrestricted. Even in the so-called Monday that there have been other places who have a sit at home. Ebonians have never experienced that. So this is not a rocket science. It's just a deliberate effort of the government by the kind of security aspect that they have put in place. By motivating the security agencies in the state, providing the requisite, infrastructure and equipment for them to operate, in terms of vehicle, in terms of communication equipment, in terms of manpower motivation, and the periodic engagement with, other security, personnel and security, agents in the state. We also have set up, exchange of security who are, have been appointed to help in gathering intelligence from our locality.
Okay.
Let's say the interface with and other people in the big areas to gather security intelligence that will also be part of the security for them to operate optimally. It's been a very wonderful experience in terms of security.
Okay, now I would like to, what's the government's long-term plan for maintaining this newly constructed infrastructure, especially in rural areas, to ensure sustainable development?
I will answer that question very simply, because this is an administration headed by Executive Director that is also very keen about resuscitating already equipment and infrastructures that have been abandoned in the time past. For instance, the Operator Water Scheme that has been left unattended to for the past 10 years is gradually coming back to life. In the next couple of days, water is going to play from Operator Water Scheme down to the state capital. And there is a trade center at the Critical Junction. These are infrastructures that have been abandoned for decades. So if he can take care of infrastructures that are abandoned by other administrators, I can assure you that the ones we are putting in place now, the measures are already in place to make sure that they are maintained and are sustained in the long term.
Now, undoubtedly, to a lot of people, investors bring in a lot of developments to areas. Now, how does the government plan to attract investors to the state through this ongoing infrastructure and security improvements? And what ripple effects would it have on the people?
You see, investment cannot come in a place and environment that is challenge security-wise. Security is one key, that guarantees investment. And that has been put in place in Ebonyi State. We also have a lot of, areas in terms of agriculture, in terms of mineral deposits. The state is blessed with a lot of mineral deposits. And the infrastructure we're putting in place, like you can see the remodeling of the airport. What you're seeing on the screen right now was, an intervention of the state government to bring back to life, to bring back to standard the these infrastructures, wherever you're coming from, you have the network of routes, you have the basic amenities, you have security, a secure environment. Whatever, every investor needs, I think we're going to invite them to Ebonyi State, because any investment in Ebonyi is an investment secure. An investment in Ebonyi State is an investment that will bring the return on investment, because we have a very place that will really give investors the opportunity to explore and make the necessary business adventures, positively.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've been speaking with Mr. Jude Okbo, the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Ebonyi State. Do have a wonderful day, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Still ahead on Newsroom series, we'll give you an update about the panel of inquiry from Abia State focusing on looted funds. Stay with us. Welcome back. Governor Alex Oti of Abia State has expressed his commitment to implementing the final recommendations of the panel of inquiry on the recovery of looted funds and properties in the state. Speaking after receiving the 3 volumes of interim reports from the panel, which is headed by Justice Florence Dora Igwe, retired, Governor Oti assured the panel members that their final recommendations will not be ignored. Describing the interim report as thoroughly done, Governor Oti also granted an extension for the panel's work. This followed the chairman's request for more time to address several outstanding petitions that had not yet been reviewed. The governor's promise highlights his administration's determination to ensure accountability and recover stolen state resources.
On behalf of the good people of Abia State, the government, I want to say a big thank you to all of you. I can assure you that we are going to take these reports very, very seriously, and we are going to implement it to the letter. Anytime you start a good journey with courage, you will also be able to complete it. So I want to reassure you that none of the recommendations will be swept under the carpet.
The Enugu State Governor, Mr. Peter Mba, has appointed the 2024 Miss Universe Nigeria, Chidinma Onwe Adesina, a brand ambassador of the state, noting that her doggedness represents the innate attribute of the people of Enugu State. Miss Adesina and Anindele of Amuri in Kano West, an indigene of Amuri in Kano West local government area of the state, was received alongside her father, Mr. Okechukwu Onwe, at the government house in Enugu. The governor noted that Chidinma has demonstrated that with determination, the young could achieve their goals, which the spirit of Enugu people.
Your rise is not anything short of inspiring. And you have just alluded to it. We can see that despite all attempts to malign you, you demonstrated that you are a true daughter of Enugu State. We're going to be looking at how we can have you go engage some of our young people. Share your experience and share what you've been through and how you got to where you are today. Sharing that with our youth will be quite inspiring and encouraging. And so, let me again, on behalf of the government and the people of Enugu State, welcome you to your homeland and assure you of our continuous support, because we see this as just the beginning, where it is our hope that as you go into the next stage or the next phase of your career, and you're going to continue to hold and carry our flag.
Over in Anambra State, Governor Chukwuma Soludo has received commendations for its ongoing infrastructure projects across the state. This is coming from the Solution Marshal, a special group in the state's transport sector, tour various projects that are under construction and underreported. Speaking to journalists at the end of a one-day tour of the group in Okpoko and Ekwulobia communities, the national coordinator of the Solution Marshals, Mr. Osita Obi, says the governor must be allowed to continue his administration beyond the first tenure.
Solution Marshals, a special team under the Anambra State Ministry of Transport. They're mostly made up of commercial drivers working to protect their welfare and also support the government of Professor Chukwuma Soludo's transport initiative. As part of the exercise to showcase that taxpayers' money in the state is not in vain, the leadership of the Solution Marshals undertakes a one-day official tour of Soludo's project site in various locations. Okpoko is the first port of call.
The important thing is that the taxpayers' money are being utilized very well, and that's the import of this tour. The tour is to see where the taxes these poor people pay go to.
The General Hospital in Okpoko, located in Ogbaru local government area, is found to be fully completed and operational. The President General of Okpoko community warmly welcomes the team and shares positive news about the community's progress. One of the senior medical officers at the hospital informs the team that the hospital, which has several departments, is staffed with 8 doctors and over 50 nurses.
Before now, we have been traveling down to Onitsha for treatment at General Hospital. But since this hospital is here, in fact, we are very, very happy.
Routine drugs, antenatal drugs are free. Pads they use are being supplied to us. Delivery mats. Free. Then, cesarean session is free.
The tour continues with an inspection of road projects in the community.
I have been seeing so many administration. I haven't seen anyone that is so kind and good to masses like this.
The team then heads to Ekwulobia to inspect the ongoing flyover bridge project.
And that's where we draw the curtains on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Stay safe.